It's called EPIC, the Exotic Pet Industry Conference, and it's free to register at epic.live. EPIC is over 20 special guests across 16 sessions covering industry trends, marketing, branding, podcasting, and YouTube. EPIC is for pet keepers and breeders. It's for gecko and invert lovers. It's for snake and spider lovers. EPIC is for anyone who enjoys these amazing animals. Did I mention it's free? Register now at epic.live.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Show Me Your Rack with Lace and Nikki here on this wonderful Sunday. It's our running joke. It's never Sunday when we record, but in your mind today, it's Sunday.
I was going to really sell it this week. I was going to be like, Nikki, it's a beautiful Sunday morning. I woke up. I had mimosas. I'm cheersing. I'm drinking something orange.
There you go.
It's a very orange day today. It's a very orange day today, Nikki.
It is a very orange day today. It's almost so bright that you have to have sunglasses.
Like without a doubt.
Yeah.
And the darks are darking. The brights are brighting.
Are we going to scramble things up a little bit?
I did have some scrambled eggs this morning.
Oh, well, yeah. Gee.
I did have some scrambled eggs. Everything is bright and beautiful, and yeah, I'm fanning out hard today. Seriously,
I feel
genuinely.
Like all of this is adding up to something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. Chris Hernan, he might be around here or something like that. I don't know.
What?
Word.
Should we see? Oh my gosh, he is.
Holy smokes.
Look.
It's like magic. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Boom. Chris, what's up, man?
How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Even better now that you're here on stage, hanging out with us.
I'm so honored, Lace, that you said you're boying out, or what did you say? You said something.
I'm having a fangirl moment. I'm a number one fan.
That's awesome.
I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome. Thank you. Believe me, I'm just a regular old guy. You'll be fine.
Well, word on the street is we're about to meet. or wait, I'm sorry, Nikki. Have we already met?
By the time this is on, yes, we will have already met. So there will already be, hopefully, a photo of us with you.
That'll be cool.
We're going to Bob Vu's show for your audience. It's Bob's show. He's going to start doing it twice a year, and it's a great show. So you should probably come out if you get a chance and see it. It's like I was amazed at how many people he got through that building in the first show. I think this one's going to be even bigger, and probably he's going to do 2 years. Probably the second one will be bigger than this first one because people will be having questions.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And by the time everyone sees this, we're all going to be very tired and full and happy.
It's true.
Yeah, we're going to get our fix.
This is a big deal. Today, I was talking to Craig, Mr. Bashcoder, on the phone, and I said, all right, Craig, I've got to go now. I kind of have this meeting with Lace and Chris Hernan here in a little bit. I never thought I'd get to say that in real life, but I'll talk to you later. So we're all just very excited that you're here.
Well, I'm excited that anybody gives a shit that I'm here. Honestly, awesome. I mean, the idea, I had people maybe 2 years ago or so that had asked me to do podcasts, and I was like, I don't. Like, what do I? Nobody needs to see me. They're going to see the snakes. Snakes are what people care about. But I have found over and over again that I'm wrong. People like to know who they're buying from. They like to be comfortable. They like to see examples so they get ideas about what you produce and what they could eventually produce. And so I appreciate the hell out of you guys having me.
The pleasure is all ours.
Okay, great. So we have 3 projects, unless you guys wanted to go a different direction first.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm freaking ready.
Go for it.
I'm ready.
Same here.
Okay. So the 3 projects are the Black Matter project, the Ultramel Super Gravel project, and a Super OD Super Scrambler project. So what's interesting, what I'm probably known most for is the OD and really typically the high intensity orange dream. But I have high intensity orange dream and Scrambler in some combo. But this is the first year that we realize there's actually a super form. And it is stupid, the super form, because it takes regular orange dream and makes it look as good or better than high intensity orange. I mean, when you see the snakes, you'll see what I'm talking about. So the first one I'm going to show you is an adult male that I'm actually breeding this year. And he is super orange dream, just regular orange dream. And if anybody has orange dream out there, they know that, unless you put other genes with it, as it ages, you lose so much of that orange, right? It just sort of, even like a single gene adult orange dream is difficult to tell the difference between that and normal. And so the supers look better, but not a whole ton better. But with Super Scrambler, it amps it up ridiculously, and you'll see when I get the snake out, it brightens the whole combo. It also has Barnard Line Black Pastel, which is a love of mine. I've never met Tom, but we've talked many times about different projects and stuff like that. But it has it's a black pastel that genetic testing just proved that it's not even actually black pastel. He's going to keep the name, but it's not even black pastel. It's something else. But it combines with regular black pastel just fine. I don't understand how that works. But what I like about it is it has a lot of orange undertones. So when you put really orange stuff with it, it just amps it up. So this snake is amped and amped again and amped some more. And I should say too, this is a snake that I sold to a local breeder named Jamie Crawford. And he has a business called Rising Phoenix Reptiles. And he was good enough to let me use him for some projects this year so that he could get some of the stuff we produced. And
Nice.
Yeah, he's just really cool. So what I'm going to do is show you this one first, and then I'm going to show you another one. It's actually a female, and it's a little younger, that is the same combo, but is expressing something that I don't understand. If it's another gene, it's very intermittent, or maybe it's recessive. I don't really know, but you'll see in a second. So let's see the really cool one first.
I'm just way too excited for all of this. Oh my gosh.
And I'm looking at him and looking at the camera. I mean, it still looks orange, but it's so much more fun.
It's orange.
I've never seen an orange like that.
Yeah, well, if you saw it, you know what? I'll try to bring this to the show so you can see it in person. It'll knock your socks off.
Holy cow.
If that thing is that bright, I would have absolutely fallen over backwards to see it as a hatchling.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. And what you're seeing again, this is super orange dream, just regular orange dream, not high intensity. I would swear that's high intensity.
Wow.
But it's also super scrambler and Barnard Line Black Pastel. So the Scrambler pulls that pattern up from the belly. You guys can see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just wiped out here and smeared across. What you see with just the single gene Scrambler is where you would normally see yellow belly coming up and the flaming that would come in yellow belly. It just sort of blows it out sideways a little bit, but the super form seems to just obliterate it and just pull it way up from the belly. So this guy is just, again, I'm seeing the difference between the camera and what I see here. And it still looks good, but I can't wait to show you in person. This is one of the favorite animals I produce. And I always tell Jamie, he's local, I said, Jamie, if I'd have known it was a super scrambler when I sold it to you, I'd have charged your ass a lot more money.
Yeah, dude. Jamie got hooked up. Chris Hernan, you can pit me out whenever you want, man. That is crazy.
So that is, again, super orange dream, super scrambler, Barnard Line Black Pastel, and it could have yellow belly. So
Completely white belly though. Like how? What? Who?
yeah, white belly. They're just such beautiful. And I was shocked when there was a super form to Scrambler. I just didn't think there was going to be because I thought I would have already produced it. And actually, what I learned is that I think I had already produced it. I just didn't know because
Wow.
you can really see it when you've got super orange dream. When you've got just one dose of orange dream and you get the super scrambler, it's nowhere near this orange. It's a great looking snake, but it's not like this. So now I know how to identify it, and I've got a few of them in my collection. So,
Give me your 30-second scrambler for dummies. Everything we need to know.
so I guess I'll start by saying I have a really crummy video that I put out like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, showing what I think is the single gene scrambler. And I keep saying I'm gonna maybe if I do more reptile stuff this year, I'll read that video. But it's
That would
crummy.
be cool.
It's
I know.
crummy.
I know the video.
What's that again?
I said I think you should. That would be really cool. I've seen the video.
Oh, okay. So I would say anybody just on Facebook or Instagram, just look for Scrambler gene. Search Scrambler gene, and it should come up. Again, it's a crummy video, but it's still instructive. It's showing you the things that I see when I look at Scrambler. It's going to be harder to tell you or to show you without having a snake where you can see that, because the super form, again, it just wipes it out. So I mean,
crazy.
I can show you the super scrambler. You'll see this belly pattern lift all the way up to about halfway up the side, and it's usually all kind of oranged out. Even when it's not super orange dream, there's orange in there. It throws you for a loop because I've got one down there that is a orange dream Enchi clown super scrambler, and it's not very pretty, to be honest with you.
Really?
It's the clown. It's an adult. It's the clown. I'm working with the clown stuff, but it takes my favorite gene, Orange Dream, and actually High Intensity Orange Dream. And when you get just super Orange Dream clown, it's hard to even tell. You're looking at it going, is that a single gene? Is it a super? I don't think it's super. It might be super because it knocks it back. But I'm noticing that the Scrambler gene, I have a super OD black pastel super Scrambler clown, and it looks like this. So I'm noticing that, and that's just regular orange dream again. So when I get high intensity orange dream into clown with super Scrambler, I think it's going to be ridiculous. It's just going to glow in the dark.
I love how you're just like the super duper super form of absolutely everything. It's so crazy. It's so cool.
I'm kind of created my own niche because I've gone after beauty. My first, and we can go back to talking about Scrambler in a minute if you want. I kind of glossed over it, but when I started doing this, it was because I paid one of the first big buys for me when I was fairly new into it was a Orange Dream Pied. And I'm like, God, you'd see the pictures online and this thing is amazing, right? And I get it, and it isn't amazing. It was, even as a hatchling, it was all kind of browned out already. As an adult, it doesn't look good. It just didn't hold its color. And I think it was like $4,000 I paid for it back then, and that's a lot of money. It was a lot of money, even more money for me at the time. And I'm like, I sold it for less than I paid for it, and I said, I got to find a way to make these things hold their color, and I've been doing that ever. And so it's kind of become my niche. And what I like to tell customers that get into this stuff, genes like Scrambler, and I think Lace is something else I'm interested in working with. Yeah. They take those same combos that we've done and moved on from and turn them into something completely different and beautiful, and it stays beautiful for life. You'll never open the drawer and be disappointed when you open it and stuff. Wow. And I think people are responding to that, especially after this latest downturn. you know, in the industry. So, okay, you guys saw that one. So let me show you the other one. It's a little younger and it's the same combo, but I don't know if it's the Scrambler doing what I'm going to show you. It basically just obliterates and erases pattern, and you'll get ringers, and they're not het pied. So this is basically the same genetically, as far as I know, but there's something else going on there that's really weird. See how it's all erased?
Uh-huh.
Not only just lifting up from the side, but just obliterating. You can see kind of like sandblasted right here, right?
Yeah.
And then you see the little bit of a ringer here, a little bit of a here, a big ringer here, but the same sort of crazy orange color as the last one. So, and it's very striped out, you know, especially half to third of the body, very, very striped out, and the white belly again, just like. But you know, some customer of mine said, "Hey, maybe that's fader." I don't know anything about fader, but this seems to pop out of some of the Scrambler stuff I work with. So I don't know if it's, you know, variation in Scrambler, if it's another gene altogether, is it a recessive gene, and that's why I only see it sometimes. Just don't know, but it's cool in its own right. Where you get, I've got a few snakes where they've got like head pattern a little bit here, and then nothing until after the cloaca where there's patterning. Just weird. But still just as bright, just as orange, and beautiful in its own way.
That is beautiful.
So I'm excited. This one's a female. I'm excited. And again, this isn't even high intensity orange, regular orange. But the Super Scrambler, way up. So before we move on, I can go back to Scrambler for a minute for people how to identify it. The two main things are on the sides where the saddles come down, and you would normally see flaming coming up if the animal carries yellow belly. Instead of kind of being straight like this with the yellow belly flame kind of coming up the middle, it blows it out and makes it a triangular pattern. And it also sort of, especially as it goes closer to the tail, it sort of smears it more and more as you get closer to the tail. You get this weird kind of blown out pattern on the side, and smearing more and more by the tail, and the tail tends to get more and more colorful. So that's the one thing. And then the other thing, and you can kind of see it in these, I'll pull this one back out. The other thing is you get ovals and circles on the top. So you can see all those ovals and circles. Like I've got a few of them that these are pretty long and striped out, but I have some that are just like perfect circles on the top, like 2 or 3 perfect. And that's another sign of it, at least in the stuff that I've been using. And then the most obvious thing is it amps up the color. So it messes with pattern, but it also obviously amps up the color a lot too. A lot of people, myself included, were mistaking it for calico for years, because it just blends seamlessly with calico. You know, when you get calico, you know, the classic calico is that white blotching on the sides, right? But when you've got Scrambler with calico, you'll see it kind of blowing out that side pattern where the saddles come down, mixed in with the blotches. And typically you'll see an animal that is brighter than it would normally be with the same genes in it. And I mean, I see Scrambler stuff often for sale as calico. And if I see it, I'll tell the breeder, hey man, I think you might have Scrambler in there. But you know, and sometimes they're happy and they go, oh great, man, I might keep it. But other times they're just like, yeah, I don't know, you know, we'll let it go. We're here to sell. And I go, oh, okay. But you know, the idea that there's a super form now and you're seeing some of the things that you can do with it is just ridiculous, you know. So I'm excited about the future with Scrambler and to find out things like our Scrambler is very lace-like. It's different, but similar. And do they pile on top of each other? Are they allelic? You know, that's the kind of stuff that's interesting to me. If they're not allelic, what the hell does super OD, super Scrambler, super lace look like? And by the way, come on, screw white lace. I like super lace. Let's just call it super lace. I don't understand.
I don't know. White lace kind of has a weird ring to it.
It does, but you know, like I didn't mess with it for years because it was confusing. It's like, okay, there's lace and then there's white lace. Is that a different kind of lace?
Yeah. And which one of us were here first? I don't know.
Yeah. So, I'm a grizzly.
My last name is White. I don't know if you know that, Chris, but it's kind of an ongoing joke with myself.
With you. I did not. You're lace white. I can see why you would like to keep it.
Yeah. You'd think that I'm just like stacked with lace, but I'm not, because there's like shit like your Scrambler shit hanging out there.
So
that would be wild to see, though, with white lace.
Did I answer your question about Scrambler?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's a lot out there that people are misidentifying because they just don't know. And it's new for me. I just found out there's a super form last year. And I can't tell you, man. Anytime, and it's for good reason, but it's still annoying. Anytime anybody's trying to work with something new, you get every breeder in the world and every person, God forbid you put it on Facebook or Instagram, every person, no, that's just calico. Oh, no, that's het pied. And, you know, sometimes they're right, but it's discouraging to somebody who's putting time into it. You're like, I guess I'm just wasting my time. And if you take it to heart enough, you'll quit doing what you're doing and move on to something else. And I'm just telling people, like, you're not always going to be right. Sometimes they're right. It is just that. But
like in the same aspect of like what you're saying is like, I want to see it for myself. I want to do it and I want to see it for myself. I kind of don't really give a shit what you're telling me. Let me like learn it on my own.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. And especially,
just a hair.
Yeah. Especially like when it's unsolicited, you know, like if I'm going to somebody and go, what do you think? And they go, I think it's just a het pied, dude. Okay, I asked for it. But if you just post it and they're like, oh, that's just a het pied, you know, it's like, okay, you know everything because you've been messing with this for 6 years like me. You know, it took like 4 to 6 years to ferret this out because I made El Diablo, if you've seen him.
Oh yes.
Made El Diablo. And go, what the hell is this? You know, like there's something extra, right? And I'm pretty sure now he's super Scrambler. That's not only Scrambler, but he's super Scrambler. And you know, when nobody knows what it is, you know, they just call it what they think it is. They're like, oh, it's just variation, it's just het pied, it's just calico, whatever. But it turned out to be something really cool. And I didn't name it Scrambler. I just had been working on it for the same amount of time. A guy named Mark Mandick in Canada named it Scrambler, and then I started seeing him post stuff, and I'm like, hey, that shit looks familiar. And we started exchanging ideas and pictures, and sure enough, I think we decided we think it's the same thing. And now I'm seeing it in some pied stuff, which for you guys, I don't know if you do pieds, but a lot less people are doing pieds today than were just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I think I understand why. Without me just blabbing on, what do you think? We got lace, and I'm sorry, I can't see. I just see.
I'm Nikki. We do pied. We like pieds. Pied is one of our main areas of focus. But I think some people don't like pied because you lose so much of the pattern.
Yeah. I mean, I just had some pied stuff this last year, and it was super, super awesome to me. But you know, also I planned this 3 years ago. That was way different. I still do have a lot of love for pied, and I do agree. I do see it less and less, but it does take away pattern, and I'm a huge fan of pattern. I agree with you both.
So this is what's cool about Scrambler. I've accidentally gotten it into my Ultramel pied stuff. And I think I've got an adult female and an adult male. The adult male is it's hard to know for sure, right? But I think he's Orange Dream, Scrambler, Ultramel pied. And the females, I've got 2 females that I think have Scrambler, and they're just Ultramel pieds with Scrambler. So I'm pairing them. So we're going to see, hopefully, if I get lucky, we're going to see the super form in Ultramel pied. And what I know from Mark, who's done a lot with Scrambler and pieds, is they're all low white and they're all high pattern.
So
it's
my favorite kind of pied.
Yeah. And, you know, like, I think going back to what you said, Nick, you know, you lose that pattern and you can't control the white. You know, there's nothing worse than having a 7 gene animal that has a patterned head and a patterned tail, and that's it. 7 genes, 6 years of my life trying to produce this thing, and it's high white. But I have never seen a high white with Scrambler, but we're just breaking the surface, you know, of these. The like any good breeder, you keep some of the best stuff back for yourselves. So even before I knew what Scrambler was, I was keeping them because I'm like, ooh, I'm keeping that one because it was a little brighter than the others or a little more patterned than the others. So I think it really might help resurrect pied because, I mean, pie's always going to be great, but I think it's more, and Nikki, you're into it more than I am. What I've seen is the pied stuff that I'm doing, it's just come down in price, and I haven't had people asking for it as much as they used to. But I'm excited because like that one I showed you with the ringer, just had maybe, I don't know, 3 times the white, and that's what Scrambler stuff does. So it's almost like just really cool ringers in there with lots of pattern and color.
Yeah, like with the last 2 examples you showed us, there's already like so much white there. I do think it's like it's a must see. We have to see it, but I mean, I'm curious as to how much it adds or takes away, I guess.
I'll tell you, Mark. I was going to buy what did he have? Had Super OD Hypo, what we now think is Super Scrambler pie that he was selling. And I was going to buy it because I wasn't looking for a pied for this project. I didn't know it was pied. It was so low white. And the so scrambled up and just cool, you know? So, I mean, I would say go look up Mark Mandick and some of his stuff for your viewers, because he's done a lot with pied. And I just think that it's really going to excite people about pied.
I love that.
I'm looking forward to looking it up after this.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah.
So what do you guys, we got 2 other projects. One is the Black Matter. And those are cool because they're basically just jet black with bright white bellies and then sort of like pixelated white coming up the sides and like, you know, have ringers and stuff like that. Well, see people at shows, again, they beeline for what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And it looks kind of like the Golden Child retic, except obviously much smaller.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, the colors are different in the Golden Child. I don't know much about those genetics, but I've had lots of retic people say, man, that reminds me of the Golden Child. I can't believe it's a ball python. But the pattern is completely wiped out. It is jet black. It's iridescent, and they stay that way as adults. I brought just the hatchlings to show you guys. I didn't bring the adults. The male I have is in shed, and I've got a female yearling that I just fed, so I didn't want to mess with her too much. So I have that project, and then I have a project that not many people are doing, but I think it's worth doing. It's the Super Gravel Ultramel project. So what do you want to see next? What do you want to see next?
Both of them, but we need to start with this Black Matter.
All right, starting with the Black Matter, we can do it.
As a matter of fact, we do.
As a Black Matter of fact, bring her on out.
All right, so first, I'm gonna go ahead, Nikki. I'm sorry.
I can't believe they're iridescent. I'm excited for that because, like, that's why we have rainbow boas because they're iridescent, and we have the Mexican black king snake because it's iridescent, and now there's ball python that's iridescent. So,
hopefully the light will pick it up, but you can see it in normal light. You can see it really well in sunlight. So first of all, they're assholes. They're hatchlings, and they keep trying. So you're going to see me go, ow, oh, damn, a lot. They're sitting here striking at me while I'm talking to you guys. We're going to kind of build it. I've got one that I think is, so the black matter, let's start with the genetics. The black matter is, you can do it with super cinnamon, super black pastel, or black pastel and cinnamon. And we all know you've got potentially, I'm going to move them because they keep striking.
So it has to come from the super form.
It does.
Okay.
But here's the good news. And I was talking to Rare Genetics about this. I've made 4 clutches now, and it'll be 6 clutches probably by the end of the year. I've never had a kink.
Wow.
And
we love it.
And everybody knows, that's the problem. 2 problems with super black pastel. They're brown, they're dark brown by the time they're adults. And you get kinking problems. And it's the same thing with the pieds. Not only do you have the low white with the panda pied, you have the low white problem, but you have the same kinking problem. I can't be certain we won't have problems yet, but I haven't seen them. And talking to genetics, they think that maybe, I wish maybe Benson will watch this and comment for people, because I don't remember exactly what he told me, but it can make other genes like that more robust. So something that normally kinks, blackhead has some sort of a, I don't know, freaking magic power that allows it to,
I believe it,
that may that to stop problems like that. And
wow.
And if I remember right, there's also champagne in it. And if I remember right, super champagne is lethal.
Yeah.
So I have not paired black matter to black matter, mostly because I don't have a female. It's growing up yet. But I may consider doing it to see. I mean, nobody wants to have a clutch that has bad eggs in it. But what does the super champagne look like if it isn't lethal? So I don't know. Those are things that I'm playing around with that I may do. But right now it looks like, and they are assholes. Even as they get older, they stay assholes. And they are voracious eaters compared to other ball pythons. I mean, you open that and they're just like mouth open, like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Dude, they're superhuman little things. They've already been like, yeah, I've broken all the laws of science here. Let's not even forget about the fact that blackhead being the saving grace from the spider complex. Oh man, my mind's blown. You need to be studied, sir.
Well, I'm probably going to be bleeding all over the camera here in a second, but let's have
no.
It's all right. We'll send you to Mardi Gras.
So the first one, and let me say the genetics first. I started to, and then I got off on a tangent. The genetics are, you can do it with cinnamon, you can do it with black pastel, and you could do it with a combo, anything to get the super form. And then it's champagne and blackhead, as far as we know. And it's a pretty simple combo, but man, it's cool. So the first one I'm going to show you, I believe it's from this newest clutch. I believe it's just 1 dose of cinnamon, 1 dose of blackhead, and champagne. So you'll see it's very dark, but it's kind of a grayish, cloudy dark. And then I'll show you the black matter next to it so you can see how.
Look at them go. They're already striking.
And then what happens when you put super mahogany in here?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is what makes it fun, right? What's
right?
Next? Oh, you're wipe my face off. So let's put it up there. So you can see it's kind of grayish charcoal looking. And you can see a little bit of pattern in there, but you can also start to see, well, it's got please don't bite my face off. You can also see the white belly. You don't see any of the white creeping up the sides. I mean, a little bit. You can see the white there, and you'll see the difference with the black matter when I bring it out next. But so that's what I think 1 dose of either cinnamon or black pastel looks like with champagne and blackhead. And then just so you see for yourselves the difference.
Bless your heart if someone throws yellow belly into the mix here.
Oh my gosh. Lace, look at that.
So you see all that white coming up from the side too on the belly?
Oh my goodness.
So their bellies are completely white. And then it's I'll put this one down now that you can see the difference. Very black.
Crazy.
So it's very pixelated looking. Let me see if I can get to the camera. Isn't that weird? I love it. Very pixelated looking, very white, and I don't think you can see the iridescence on the camera. But trust me, it's there. We'll show you when you come to the Southeast Reptile Show.
So you see absolute in person with your human eye looking at that snake right now. You see absolutely like no pattern.
No pattern. No. Jet black, and I mean, look, you can see it next to my shirt.
I mean,
Yeah,
you actually can't. Only until he shows his belly.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is.
Wow.
But yeah, jet black, iridescent, and then this pixelated white coming up the sides. And sometimes I'll get a ringer that'll come all the way over the snake, but all of them seem to have this pixelated white. And I guess that's the champagne interacting with the combo to make that. But very, very cool snake. Even up by the head.
Stunning.
See the white on the
Yeah, I love the jaw. Everything's just white. Oh man, that's so pretty.
You'll see it. I will be talking about these. I'm bringing a few to sell to Bob's show, but I'll be talking about these all day at the Southeast Reptile Show. Everybody wants to know what that is and how much it is and take pictures with it. It's just very cool. And I should say too, I'm not the first person to make this. I got the male that I used from a guy named David Gutierrez. I want to give credit where credit's due. So David made this. His business is Mad Ball Pythons, and he decided to like I was pestering him for months, and then he decided like when we had the downturn a few years ago, he wanted to sell it and make some money to just keep feeding his collection because we didn't know what was going to happen or how long it was going to be. So I was lucky enough to get it from him then. So here's a black matter that's a little different. It's just as black. It's iridescent, but the pixelation of white is different. And I'm thinking it's either the one I'm going to show you. I'll show them next to each other. One of these is super blackhead, I think. And I'm not sure which one. So there's the one I've been showing you on my right hand. But look at how it's all kind of just mushed out.
Yeah.
I think
he's still black.
I think this one's super blackhead.
Which one? The left?
Yeah, I think you're no. Wave the I think that one is.
Yeah, I think so too, because I've produced several black matters now, and this is the first one that looks like this. And if I put them side by side, you can see. The black is the same.
Ugh.
They're both black, but it's not pixelated anymore. And you can see little black flecks in it here or there. So very weird version, and I'm going to guess it's super black. Why do you think it's super blackhead, Liz?
I don't know. Just when I saw like a flash of the eye, I don't know. And then there was just a tad bit of on left hand under the eye. There's just like a tad bit of like a little bit of like blushing, like where an eye stripe, I guess, would kind of be. I don't know though. Are you bringing them both?
I'll bring them both to Bob's show, and you can look at them there and tell me what you think.
I'm going to be the first one in line because I got to see it before they fly off the shelf.
Yeah, I hope so. I just, it is so, I mean, I even the bright, like the super scrambler stuff, people beeline for that. But I would say even more people beeline for the black matter, even more than the super scrambler stuff. But either combo, it's like, what is that? Right? Because they're just,
I don't know, man. Well, I felt like one was definitely darker than the other, unless it could very well be my camera, but I've got to see them together because that's tough. I don't know now. Now that I don't know.
It might, you might be right. I'm looking at them now. If it is, it's like a touch. Like on a scale from 1 to 10, the really dark one with the pixelation's a 10. This one's a 9.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like just in a solid like single gene blackhead or even like a super blackhead, the way that kind of just like you're saying, the way that it pixelates and always kind of throws like a weird floating pattern on the side end based on what we just saw in Left Hand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I do consider myself to be a blackhead connoisseur. So.
Yeah, well, I need it because I'm not. But there was blackhead on both sides of this pairing.
That's tough.
And so I was hoping I would be able to see some difference, and I do. So I'm guessing it's a super blackhead, but I'll have to do some searching in my records to see if I've always had blackhead on both sides. I don't think so. In fact, no. If one of those is super blackhead, now that I'm thinking through it, it has to be the one you picked, Lace, because the other one, I've made them with other pairings that did not have blackhead on both sides.
We're on to something.
You are a blackhead connoisseur.
Oh, it's my favorite. I just, some people watch porn. I just look at blackhead.
That's awesome. Well, you want to move on to the Ultramel project?
Yeah, I really do. That was stunning.
Yeah, great. Thanks. And I can't wait for you to see it in person. So
we're running there, Nikki. We're running to him.
We are running there. I can't, just the contrast between how orange the first ones were and how dark the last ones were. I can't wait to see these next ones.
That's wild. So the next project, I kind of like when we were at one of the lowest points in the market, maybe a year and a half ago, I had produced Ultramel highways and some super gravel Ultramels. And I was like, I think these are really cool, but they weren't for sale anywhere on Morph Market. I looked through history, sold items, nothing, right? Nobody's doing it for whatever the reason. And I'm like, well, geez, how do you sell this? So what I did was I kept the highways pretty low. I want to say $400 to $600. And not that that's like nothing, but it's not a high priced snake. And I said, this is a project you can get into cheap, if you think it's interesting enough. And the highways, when they hatch, are just gorgeous. They do, like most highways, they do lose a lot of that color as they become adults. That was disappointing because when I first hatched, I'm like, wow, that's got to hold that color better. And I think it holds its color somewhat, but it washes out too much. The super gravel that I'm going to show you guys here in a minute, it's got amazing color and contrast as a hatchling, and I would say it looks good as an adult, but it's not like the super scramblers that look amazing as adults. It still looks good, but there's more work to do. Maybe get some dark genes, maybe get some blackhead in their Lace. So with that, I'll show you the super gravel Ultramel. This is a holdback female for me. And they are really, really cool. She does have a meal in her. I fed tonight, but let's see if we can get this in front of me.
Wow. I feel like we've met before. She's glowing.
Yeah, she's really nice. I mean, I'm hoping she's going to keep her color better than the male that I held back. And again, when I say it lost color, it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
It doesn't like brown out or anything like that. It's just, this is really nice contrast, really nice color. You got like purples in here.
Purples, yeah.
And I mean, this is a Chris Hernan kind of snake right here.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
If it does lose its color like the other male I kept, or lose some of its color, I'm going to be thinking about what's next. And I really think it is dark genes, and maybe it is black. But something to keep. Maybe it's Orange Dream, maybe it's High Intensity Orange Dream, maybe it's both. I mean, that's what makes these things fun, Yeah. You look at something and you go, I really like that. And then, or maybe it's like, well, I kind of like it, but it's disappointing in this way or that way. So it's almost like being an artist and saying, what paint do I have to add to make this pop or make this change? I mean, the bitch for us, though, is it's going to take at least a year or two to do that because the animals grow and you have to make decisions. And once you make those decisions, it takes 1 to 3 years to see the results of those decisions, if you're lucky.
1 to 3 business years.
Yeah. But these are really cool. I think, and so I've actually got, I should probably have 3 clutches this year that will have these in it. And one of them has high intensity orange dream in it. So hopefully we'll get to see super gravel, high intensity orange dream Ultramel.
Wow.
And see how that helps it to hold its color.
Wow.
She's gorgeous.
Insane.
I'm interested to see how she holds her color, like you said.
Yeah. Yep.
Who's the fella doing Bang Scrambler?
You know what's funny about that? First, I don't know. Bang.
I don't know if it's a thing. I don't know if anyone's doing it. I was about ready for you to just laugh and be like, actually, Lace, it's me.
Well, you're not far off. Just today, I got a Bang, and and there's I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce his last. It's Scott Solstead, or I'm sorry, Scott, if you see this, I'm screwing up your last name. But you guys know Vision Products?
Yes.
So Scott started Vision Products maybe 20 to 30 years ago and eventually sold it. And he got a hold of me because he loves my deep orange line. And he's like, hey, man, I'm doing this stuff with Bang. And I had seen it. I'd seen just some single jeans at reptile shows. And I was like, I don't know. Is it just Orange Dream? There's also something out there called Cantaloupe. Is that different? Is it this? I don't know. And so I
have no idea.
Scott, and he started sending me pictures of supers. And I go, okay, that's not Orange Dream. It's not even high intensity Orange Dream. It's different. It's not that it's better or brighter. It's just different and cool in its own way. So he just sent me a 600 gram Bang Clown. And my goal is I've got 3 or 4 females ready. One of them is super OD or super high intensity Orange Dream Scrambler. So we might get to see what the Bang Scrambler looks like, or the super high or high OD or high OD Bang Scrambler. And I'm pretty.
I'm freaking flabbergasted. I'm in shock. Some of this shit, this is what's cool, is some of this stuff I'm like, I only could dream of that. And then it's like, oh my God, I'm having a badass conversation with a badass dude who's like actually doing it. This is awesome. This is so cool.
You're a clairvoyant, Lace. I mean, you nailed it.
Yeah, seriously.
It was like 4 hours ago or 6 hours ago, I opened the box to the Bang Clown.
That's crazy, Lace.
Yeah. And I mentioned to bringing it up, do you have a camera in my house, Lace? What's going on?
Right? Thinking the same thing.
I'm behind that cool barnwood, buddy.
What kind of voodoo do you have over there, Lace?
I'm dying laughing because his lemonade and or margarita looks like a full pitcher.
Yeah. I drink big.
I love it. Yeah, me too, man. I feel you.
But it's just sugar-free lemonade. Nothing fancy. No booze. I do here's something that I can tell you guys too. I suck at it. I'm going to preface this with I suck at it, but I'm hopefully going to get better. It just takes time. I'm learning how to make bourbon, and I've got some bourbon in it. I've got a barrel out there. It's aging in a Chris Hernan Reptiles wooden barrel, and the aging is what makes it good. So it might be something that we do in the future where I'm doing it with some guys that I work with, and they're like, maybe we call it snake bite bourbon, so we're open to names for you guys, for your fans, and for the people that watch your show. We're open to names, but I'm learning that I was kind of thinking that initially, man, if these people in Kentucky, could do this 200 years ago, I should be able to figure it out. Well, I'm wrong. It's not easy.
Well, I think a lot with bourbon, I could be wrong. One of my good buddies, Blake, he's like a bourbon prodigy, but it has a lot to do with where you're aging it. And which part of the world you're in. I guess that's why. Who were you just saying? The country folk, like
Oh,
Kentucky and
Yeah.
like areas like that. It's so popular because of the weather constantly year round through there. So you're cold, right? Aren't you?
yeah, it's
North.
cold here, but you bring up a good point because the barrel's in the garage and it was -6 a few days ago.
Oh,
I mean, it's not going to freeze. It's the proof is too high, but could that affect it negatively? Sure. There's a whole bunch. Like the thing about the people that do this, like in Kentucky, where it was born however many years ago, they hand it down, right? So they've been making mistakes and refining for generations.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I looked at YouTube videos and spent money on a still, and we did the mash and we did all this stuff. And it's kind of cool because I like to learn stuff. So it was kind of cool to learn, but we made a lot of mistakes, and we made this. We're hopeful. It's only been in there in the barrel for 4 months. Some people age these things for 10 years.
Yeah.
But you want to age it probably at least a year or two. So we're hopeful that this one's going to be good, and I'm tasting it a little bit as it goes along. But it would be cool to really actually make a bourbon and be able to like bring it to shows and say, hey man, this is, I don't know that we call it snakebite bourbon, or Chris Hernan Reptiles bourbon doesn't exactly have a ring to it.
I've already figured out your freaking. I've got you. Okay, we're gonna call it Hernan Bourbon, and we're gonna change the spelling of bourbon, Hernan Bourbon, and I'm betting my right leg that you're gonna make your first pour out of that thing, and it's gonna be bright ass orange. The way you do shit, man.
Probably not going to taste good if it's orange. Maybe that's how we sell it. If it is like, if it's related to this business, like we put some orange dye in it or something. That's not going to work.
I'll give it a go. Bring some to the show. You pulled my arm. I'll taste it.
You'll try it. Okay.
That's really cool.
yeah. I like it. Lace, I think it's time for your special round of things.
I'm ready.
You know this round?
Yeah, there it goes.
Lightning round.
Bringing some hot pink to your orange world, sir.
Yeah, nice.
Welcome to Lightning Round with Lace, where I have a question or a bunch of cue cards here, and I ask you questions, and the idea is you just go with your most favorite first one that pops into your head answer. Are you ready, fella?
I can do it. Sweet.
What is your favorite recessive gene?
Oh shit.
It just got real.
This is why they call it a lightning round, right?
It's never quick. Ever.
It's never, ever quick.
Shit, man. I'm just starting to work with recessives. I just haven't worked with them because everybody else does. Right. And
I don't think you need to.
No, seriously.
Honestly, like the way I do things now, it's like, okay, let's go. You saw the Super Scrambler, Super OD, Black. What's that look like in Clown? What's that look like in Puzzle? So I'm kind of going the other way. Everybody's getting to the new recessives and then adding genes. I got all the genes kind of added and perfected the way I like them.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to add the recessives. But so I guess I would say, okay, it was a long time coming, but I got an answer. Puzzle.
Oh, I like that. I want to see all of that stuff in hypo, but it's not my question. What are your favorite codoms or?
Oh, that's High Intensity Orange Dream.
There we go.
That's what I think I'm known for, if I'm known for anything. I really love Mandarin too. I started working, I got my first clutches with Mandarin stuff last year. I made Mandarin hypo het clowns, and I'm hoping this year I'm going to make Mandarin hypo het puzzles. So I'm pretty excited. Mandarin project, and also going to put, if I'm lucky, I'm going to try to get Mandarin with Desert Ghost. The Super Mandarin Desert Ghost has to be stupid. It just has to be. I mean, it's going to be ridiculously orange. They're going to react really well together.
It's going to be so good. I almost asked about Mandarin when you were talking about Ultramel. Now we know the answer.
I had a long circuitous route with Mandarin not working out, buying into it and not really getting the gene. The animals die. I mean, it's been a long, painful, circuitous route, but I made good clutches last year, and I hopefully will make good clutches this year.
Hell yeah. We're excited to see it. What is a gene that you think should be in everything?
High intensity orange dream. I mean, this is a mess because that's just, I love it. It's the first gene I really love, and I've spent all my time getting out any of the ones that aren't as nice. You know, there's a lot of people that sell high, or in the past sold high intensity orange dream, and I've even bought into them thousands of dollars thinking I could jump ahead of a project, and then I see it age and I go, no. I literally, now you got me off on a tangent. I literally spent
go off Queen.
So I spent $3,500 on a fire high intensity orange dream clown, $3,500, and I sold it for $350 as a sub adult because I'm like, people come to me for quality, and this ain't it. And I tried to sell it, you know, cheaper and cheaper, and then finally I'm like, just get out of here. I don't want you. No. So really good high intensity orange dream, in my opinion, makes everything better. Doesn't matter the combo, man. It's going to be better with it.
Yeah. Is there a gene that you don't currently have in your collection or that you're working that interests you, like something that you'd want to explore, a gene that you'd want to get into currently?
Well, I would have said Mandarin, but I really, again, I already said the long circuitous route, and I've had it and not had it and whatever. I mean, this is going to sound crazy, but I would probably say no, because if I get interested in it, I fucking get it.
Good for you.
I've already got it. I love that. Oh, what is a gene that you think is slept on that still has a lot of untapped potential?
Well, I mean, it would be an easy answer is Scrambler, but it's really kind of new. But there's a lot of, I suppose, there's a lot of misunderstanding. And like I said earlier, there's a lot of people go, it's not. But let me tell you, it is. I'm sure of it, and I wouldn't be selling it to people if it wasn't. Because I would give people their money back. If I say it doesn't have the new, latest, and greatest gene, or it does have it and it ends up not having it, I'm giving you your money back. And I really don't want to do that. So, yeah, I mean, that's one that I think when I put the super form online last year, I mean, the posts just exploded. People are just like, what is that? People come to the reptile shows and see my stuff. What is that? So I don't know if I would say they're sleeping on it, but they're just waking up to it, maybe.
I like that.
You're such an intuitive fella. Love that.
Me too.
Two-part question. What is the most challenging and, well, let's just say, what's the most challenging part about breeding ball pythons?
Being a dad, having a job, and having a side business is fucking hard. It really is. And this is why, I mean, I'll tell your listeners now, like, I'm considering retiring because I can. I do love, or I loved, past tense, my job. I do problem solving for my real job. And, well, it was Fiat Chrysler. It's still now, but the company's a mess, and I don't really love a lot of things about it anymore. So I'm thinking about retiring because last year I was blessed to have probably the best year of my life selling. And I know a lot of other people are still struggling, but I do think the market is definitely on the upswing. But last year almost killed me. I mean, it was constant work stuff, dad stuff, business stuff, 9, 10, 11, sometimes midnight. in bed answering questions for people, trying to get shipping coordinated and stuff. So really, it's the business part that is the hardest part.
Wow. Well, we think you're doing great, but I totally feel you. I don't know how you do it. And I also didn't know we're both in the automotive industry. Wow, Chris, we are just
Where do
meant
you
to be
work?
together forever. I don't want to say I work for Hyundai.
There's nothing wrong with it. I work for Stellantis, which was Chrysler, and they're a mess. I mean,
Hyundai's a mess right now.
I was proud to work there. We merged with a French company, and it's just been a nightmare. So, yeah.
Gosh, I know, Lloyd. The French, they're assholes.
I call
Nikki,
them
that was a Dumb and Dumber reference.
It was.
What is the most rewarding part about breeding ball pythons?
Oh, making something new and cool that people love. I mean, for me, like when I hear you guys react to the black matters, or I hear you guys react to those orange snakes, I go, yeah. I mean, like, you can't see me, but I'm like goosebumpy about it. Like it's like being an artist in a completely different way, and people loving your art. I mean, it's just awesome.
And we get to see them in person next week, which will already have been will already have happened by the time this comes on. But because this is coming on like the week after Southeast, but we get to see them in real life next week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of my stuff from last year is already sold, so I'm not going to have like a lot of super cool hatchlings, but I'll have some, and I always bring, some of the adult versions, or maybe the nicest version, and then I can sell like the 2 or 3 gene version, and I'm showing the 5 or 6. So there will definitely be cool stuff to see. But
I can't wait.
Cooler stuff on the way is the point. Cooler stuff on the
way. One of my last questions is, what do you want to be known for? And I'm going to answer this for you, and then you can answer. When I think about you, I think, just like you mentioned before, quality. I think of one word, and it's just quality. It is top of the line down to every last gene that goes into that freaking 18 combo damn snake that you got over there that is glowing in the dark. Quality. But anyway,
I thought you were going to say
Chris,
bourbon. You didn't say bourbon.
Hernan burn.
I don't, I've never really thought like that. I'm very comfortable. I'm comfortable enough to do this because I teach sometimes, so I'm comfortable kind of being in center stage and all that sort of thing. But I've never been that interested in being known. Like if I was in Hollywood or something, I'd be behind the camera. I wouldn't be in front of it. It's not me, but I like quality. So I'm going to steal your answer. I like if people know anything about me, it's that I give a shit. I'm not going to sell you something and it's going to cost whatever, $5,000. And then 6 months later, when you pull that your drawer, you go, what happened? I'm not doing that. And the only way I would do it is if I tell you, look, man, this is going to fade out a little bit. It needs more work. It needs more genes. We're in the process.
I love it.
You're a stand-up guy.
Absolutely. I can't wait to meet you. I've got no more lightning round questions because I think I ruined it and I asked a bunch of my stuff in the beginning, but I told myself on this episode I was going to make a conscious effort of not just like or oh my god, wow, oh. I was like, shut up, just keep it in. So when you're talking about how, when we're reacting to stuff, dude, I'm going to make your head this big whenever I meet you in person. I'm going to just be off the charts. I'm very, very excited to see it in person. And I'm really excited to meet you in real life. I think it's going to be a really, really fun show. And
awesome, man. Thank you, Lace. And you too, Nikki. I mean, I appreciate you guys taking the time and having me on, and it introduces me to people so that they can learn what I do and be comfortable to buy from me. I mean, I want to make sure that anybody that buys from me is happy about what they get, not just when they get it, but 6 months, a year, 2-3 years down the line.
When it's old and not turning gray.
Yeah.
There's something else about this show, Chris. There will be a follow-up appointment. Since it's Show Me Your Rack, we have to stay with the whole theme. And there will be a follow-up appointment sometime next year this time. So you could show off the cool things that you made again.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I'm excited to see the Ultramel Freeway. What else was in there? Or the mouthful?
And then the Mandarin stuff. Everything else.
I'm excited to see where Chris is at with Scrambler and Black Matter stuff in a year.
It's what makes it fun. I mean, you guys know because you breed too. I mean, what makes it fun is being passionate about what you do and seeing those next steps. Like, where could it go? Where could it go? What could I do? And sometimes you fall down, right? Sometimes you spend 3 years and you produce this thing and go, oh shit, and it happens. And then you just figure out how to sell. But the fun is, different for different people. But in general, if you have passion for it, that's kind of my thing. If you have passion for it, then, go with that. Whatever it is, I don't care. I mean, if you can't make the right money, still go with the passion, because that's that's who you are.
Yeah. The snake community is awesome because I don't think that we look at one another and we're like, oh, fuck that guy. Like I look at somebody else and I'm like, golly, you're inspiring. I want to do what you're doing. And then I want to put my twist on it. Like I'm inspired by you. What you're creating is awesome. Tell me about this, tell me about that. Let's share this stuff. Let's show it. I love the snake community and bouncing stuff off of others.
And I'm exactly the same. Like my inspiration early on was Ozzy, and he's still doing the Orange Dream stuff, but he was always into adding more. And like you talk to him, and he's like, "What's next? What's next?" And I drilled down into the Orange Dream and tried to perfect it. That was my spin on what Ozzy was already doing.
You've done a hell of a job, man.
Yeah, thank you. Excited to see you guys next week.
Excited to see you too. Thank you for showing us your projects, showing us your rack.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
Yeah. Show me some. Show me. Show me some. Show me. Show me some. Show me. Show me some. Hey. Show me some. Show me. Show me some. Show me. Show me some.